Hello again, whiskey friends. It's Kelsey here in the Whiskey Riff Lounge. Today we're going to be talking about some K.Luke. Now, I know that we've talked a lot about this brand on the channel for a while. We even had the master blender on himself, Jonathan Misano. I'm going to dive into batch 9 in just a moment. So stick around. Make sure you guys hit the like and subscribe, and we'll see you right back here in just a second. All right. Thank you guys for joining us. Today, again, we are going to be doing batch 9 of K.Luke's blended straight whiskeys. So, this is a blend of high rye, low rye bourbon, non age stated from different sources that they blend together. Now, the ones that I've had 4 through 9. Mark, I believe I sent you 4 through 9 as well. So if you want to comment on your favorites down in the below in the comments, that'd be great. If you guys have tasted this brand and have a favorite batch number, make sure you guys put that in the comments as to why that's your favorite. Today we're going to do batch 9, and then I'm going to do a comparison with batch 8 to see how it corresponds to the latest batch. So let's get into the nose. Cheers, whiskey friends. So right off the bat, this thing is awesome on the nose. You get caramel, deep tobacco notes, sweet oak, cherry, even a little bit of citrus, and a little bit of dark chocolate. Man, this thing is all over the place on the nose. It's really, really good. So far, each batch for me has gotten progressively better. I think my favorite batch so far is probably 5. But each batch has been really, really good. And for the price point, this is an art, y'all. I know you guys probably, just love to drink good whiskey, as I do too. But the art of being able to blend multiple sourced whiskeys into a complex, cohesive whiskey experience is very, very difficult. So kudos over to K.Luke. Yeah, then you get the oak as it sits for a little bit. That dark chocolate, oh man, it's coming out even more. And caramel and like that dark cherry note, almost like a syrup of the Luxardo cherries. Oh wow, this was really good. Hit just a little bit. Sorry about that. A little bit of nut flavor on the end, but just ever so slightly. Lots of rye spice mid palate, sweet up front. The oak comes very light in the back, along with that dark chocolate note that you're getting on the nose. One of the things that I really love about this is the blend of the high rye, low rye, because I think you get the spice from the high rye, and then the low rye part of it, you get more of those complex notes that we're getting off of these bourbons blended together. I know that the master blender does take his time and taste each individual batch and tweaking and retasting and constantly making sure this is the best possible batch that he can produce at this time. So I know he works tirelessly. Specs on this one, let's get into it. 118.4 proof. This is batch 9, and mash bill is high-low rye mash bill. So it's a combination blend of those whiskeys. So let's go back to the nose again. Yeah, man, this thing is so complex on the nose. I think it's one of the things between the palate and the nose that really surprised me from 8 to 9 is the difference in the structure of each of these. And I'll get into batch 8 in just a little bit. These are available for $109. They are in limited distribution, but you can purchase them on some online sites as well. So if you keep an eye out for these are definitely worth picking up. We've always been pretty big fans here at the channel of K.Luke and what they're doing. And like I said, the art of blending is real. And to be able to produce this over and over again. Now, each batch is very different from the other. Some are closer than others. But the individual experience of each batch is really consistent as far as being complex. The mouthfeel is great on this. This one tends to be not quite as oily as 8, if I remember right. We'll check that in a second. Let's go in for a second sip. So here on the channel, leave your comments down below, but we do a rating system. So this one was 1 through 100, and this one was 86. So it scored pretty darn high on our channel. I will say that the thing that really impressed me the most was the offset of the nose, and then the complexity of the palate from front to back. It's really good. Let's jump into batch 8 and compare it to 9 and see. So this is batch 8. Batch 8 was pretty close in proof, if I remember right. 118.8. So yeah, just a 0.4 proof points better, or higher. I should say not better, but higher. So let's get into the nose and let's see how different it is. Yeah, this one is way muted compared to 9 as far as the nose is concerned. It's got a good nose. It's just muted. Like I really have to get in there to try to get some of the notes off of there. Take a reset here. Yeah, this is really weird. Like I remember 8 being really good, but I don't remember the nose being this muted. Yeah, so let's take a sip. Maybe I'll get some more after I taste it. Okay, this is a little bit more rye forward up front. It's got that high rye that comes across in the front, spreads out. This one is a little bit more oily. Like I said, it's a little bit more viscous on your palate. It's going to coat it. This one hits more mid palate and then stretches out across the back of your tongue. I'm still not getting a lot on the nose on 8. I don't know what the deal is. Maybe my nose is broken today. There's some similarity notes to that tobacco note, but this one is way more pronounced on 9. It's way more pronounced on 9. 8, you get similar notes of that and similar notes of like of tea, like a black tea, where I don't get as much of that on this one. It's still there, but it's not quite as prevalent as it is on 8. So similar characteristics from 8 to 9. I like 8 a lot too. Completely different experience on the palate. Palate is a little sweet up front, but mostly it hits mid palate to back is where this one shines, where this one is really like a up and down and then really peaks up at the end with the finish. 8's a little bit more subdued. Even though it's a higher proof point, it doesn't drink hotter than this one. This one is so rich on the caramel and sweetness on the nose, man. This is just killer on the nose. For those that haven't tried K.Luke, a little bit of the backstory is that Jonathan Mazzano used to pick hundreds of barrels for a particular store where he's located, and decided he really wanted to get away from just doing for the store and do a blend of whiskeys. And he had made contacts along the way to secure barrels. So he and his wife are tasting through all this stuff and coming up with some great blends, as well as some finished stuff. The Cabernet, if you guys haven't got the Keenan Reserve, that's another one to look out for. The Cab finished is absolutely amazing. Yeah, guys, this one, 9 for me, is hands down better to 8 for my palate. I would say if you're more of a MGP type of person, like MGP profile, the 9 is probably more your style. If you're more of a Four Roses type of style, this one, the 8, is typical, a little bit more towards the Four Roses style of distillate profile. Yeah, 8 drinks a lot softer than 9, and it's higher proof. So I don't know, guys. Both are fantastic whiskeys. I say this one is, 9 is a lot more complex. 9 is a little bit more upfront on the nose as far as what you're going to get on the palate. It does follow through with those chocolate notes that I like, as well as some berries. And I love the rye spice right down the middle of your tongue with the high rye coming in on that. So thank you guys for hanging out with me. Please make sure you leave a comment and subscribe below. If you guys have tasted any of the K.Luke, or if you haven't seen it but you want to taste it, look at some of these online retailers that are selling this stuff, and shoot me a message if you want to know what those are. But typically they're not overpriced at all. I mean, these whiskeys are right around $100, $109. Great blends, well crafted, great experiences. So kudos to K.Luke for making another great batch. And we'll see you guys right here back in the Whiskey Riff Lounge next time. Make sure you guys check us out every Wednesday night. We are on at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. And we'd love to hear from you guys. Thanks so much for all of the support. And we do have some of our picks left, so make sure you guys go over and check those out as well. If you're not a Patreon, let me know, and we'll get you signed up, as well as just giving you the link